So there is a well of safety, or one could call it a sense of home that resides in our body, and it's always in principle available. Today, we're going to journey in that direction. Now, most of our bodies and minds and history and biology have put up some obstacles to connecting with this part of ourselves. So there are no goals in today's sit. You should not expect to feel a certain way or have a certain experience. What we do in meditation is we turn our attention in a desired direction. We choose where we want to bring our attention, and we just keep bringing it back. So today we're going to move towards the sense of home, the feeling that you are at home, that you have arrived at home, home being a place of safety, of support, a place where you belong, a place where you are connected, a place where there's really nothing you need to do that is not well within your capabilities. Home is a place of comfort, but a place of depth as well, of richness, where all of you is welcome. So we're moving our attention in that direction. And at first, we may not know how to move in that direction, but just bringing those ideas to mind may start to bring a feeling in the body somewhere. And if it does, that's a road marker in the direction of the experience of home. But if it does not, that's okay. You can continue to follow my guidance and use the word home and images of home in the mind to continually bring the body back. So the first condition of home is that there is nothing that needs to be fixed or changed. It's just where you belong. So remember to set that intention that however you feel today is okay. That's where we're going to start. So the deepest sense of home in the body resides in the, well, we can call it the gut. In the East, it's often called the Dantian or the Hara. It's a location 2 fingers beneath your belly button and then in towards the core of your body. It's a sense in your belly that everything is okay. So I want you just to start by following the breath coming in and out of the belly. But I want you to, without frustration, just attempt to recall the feeling in your abdomen when everything was okay. All we're doing is turning our attention in the direction. We don't need it to arise. This is a very patient kind of crossword puzzle working. The word sometimes does not arise, but we are okay with that because we know that with steady attention, eventually the correct experience will arise in a crossword puzzle. And in this case, eventually the memory of home will take over our body. But there is a very particular way that your guts feel when you are at home. There's a quietude, there's a spaciousness, there's a settledness. And there are other feelings going on in your body right now. And you let them arise and you let them pass away. You don't need to worry about them or change them. We're not trying to get rid of any feelings. At home, all feelings are allowed. But we are turning our attention to a part of our body that already feels at home. And we just have shielded it and covered it over. So we watch the breath come in, and we watch the breath go out. And we focus our attention on the sensations in the belly. And we look in that area for what it felt like when we were totally okay. When there was nothing we needed to be shielding ourselves or preparing ourselves for. There's nothing we needed to remember or keep track of. When there were no judgments we needed to make of ourselves to keep ourselves on track. There's a feeling in this belly. For me, a great memory, visual type of part of my life was, being, 6, 7, and just being able to play all day on summer vacation. But for you, it might be a little older or it might be younger. It may go all the way to being a baby that the last time you felt this. That's all very normal. And you can bring up images to remind yourself, but the feeling is already there in your body. The experience is already there in the body. You just have to connect to it. The breath comes in and the breath goes out. What would the belly feel like if you were totally okay? If you had finally reached the destination, that place where all problems were solved, or that you had never left on the journey, that place where no problems had arisen. Now, as you move in this direction, you will encounter the parts of the body that do not feel that way. And we are not in a battle with these parts. We just keep bringing our attention back to the sense of home. If we get a taste of it, we bring our attention to that taste. If we get a feel of it in the body, we bring our attention to that feel. If we get an idea of it in the mind, we bring our attention back to the idea. If we get a sense of the right direction, we bring our attention to that direction. This is an advanced concentration exercise, so please be gentle with yourself. And you always have the breath to hold on to. If you're ever not sure what to do, you go feel the breath coming in and out. You feel the belly expand and release. Notice when the body lets go on the out breath. Notice what parts of the body are at rest in between the out breath and the in breath. Notice the natural pleasure that fills the body as the breath comes in. And you can begin to use a label for your concentration as you breathe in, home. As you breathe out, home. 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 And the label is like a compass needle, or a magnet. It allows you to draw. You don't need to make any effort. It just draws you. It pulls you towards a sense of home. Now, you may feel more home in the back of your body and the spine, or you may feel more home in the pleasure in some other part of your body. And you just connect these experiences. Ah, yes, my spine is at rest. How would the belly feel if it were at rest? So there is a location, the Dantian, the Hara, that is energetic. It's more than a sense of the nervous system or muscles or organs. It's an energetic location in the body that is at home in the universe. It is your sense of being. You are. You are a being. You are something that exists. And that's all that's required of you. There is no other judgment to be made of you, no other accomplishment needed for you to be worthy of home. And your sense of being residing there in the hara, 2-finger widths beneath the belly button, inside. It's the deepest sense of I am, I am, I am, I am, I am home. And the home is the I am. The home is the beingness. home, home. Let go of any goal. Whatever experience you're having, you still are, you still have being, you still are at home. So even when the mind wanders, you can't really leave your sense of being. The only way you could be having an experience is if you were being, if you were here. The sense of home has another quality I haven't mentioned. It's the sense of being surrounded by love. Home, true home. And by the way, many of us do never have had this exact form of social home in life. That's not what we're describing. But true home is a sense of being surrounded by love. And that resides in its source is in that gut, but it also spreads up into the chest and it surrounds the whole body. And this love is just your connection with the being of all things. So the sense of being that resides in your belly, that being that you have is the same being that all other things have. It's one interconnected family of being, interbeing. And you can let go of holding on to separation. And you feel the belly, the breath come in, home, the breath go out, home. The breath comes in, the whole body's at home, centered on the hara. As you breathe out, the whole body's at home, centered on the hara. So this sense of home is as deep as you can go into your own experience. So as you bring your attention into the hara, realize that what we're looking for is not on the surface, or its source is not on the surface. And so you let yourself just sink deeper and deeper into the experience, even if the surface experience is not pleasant or exactly what you want, or maybe it's even numb. One thing you'll notice as you get closer to the sense of hara is the sense of stillness, because being doesn't require activity. Being is, being is. You get closer and closer. There's a sense of stillness inside of you. And this stillness is perfect. It's not frozen, but it's perfect, perfectly still, because it's perfectly at peace, perfectly at home. And so as you focus on the breath coming in and out, and you start to zero in on your hara, on the dantian, on this spot inside your abdomen, you're letting go of whatever is not still and dropping deeper into whatever is still. This is the sense of home, of being where you belong, of being connected and surrounded by love. There's a kind of unconquerable strength in here. And I'm pointing you towards this today so that you begin to have access to it because it can support you through whatever happens in life. Now, there is a magnetism to this stillness, but it's not as strong as the magnetism of our attention at first. You have to get closer to the stillness, but once you do, you'll notice it starts to pull your attention. This is because it is the place you really want to be. You already want to go there. So you don't have to try. Once you taste it, you can sort of just hold your attention. That's the only effort required. It's like listening in the night for a cricket. All you have to do is open your ears, and then the sound will draw you towards it. The sound of home calling you home. The feeling of home calling you home. You could put a hand on your belly and maybe a hand on your heart. And just see if that doesn't activate an even sort of more human sense of home arising in the body. And you can say thank you to yourself. Be grateful, have gratitude. I am grateful for this body. I am grateful for the work it does. I'm grateful to myself for practicing. And although the sense of home may feel nearer or farther, you can be grateful that there is a sense of home in this universe. You know that's true. You have felt it in your life, and maybe you tasted it today. You can be grateful that there is a way of being in the world where you feel okay, as if everything's okay. And it doesn't matter that you don't feel it right now. We can still be grateful for that possibility, grateful for the knowledge that it's real, grateful for any taste we get of it, grateful for the effort we make to get closer to it. The world we live in the mind would be unbearable ultimately if there were not this possibility, this sense of a deeper reality that is available. And if you've been sitting with me for a while, you probably have tasted this and you know this, and this is why you continue sitting. But even if you haven't, just reach into your sense of your history and know, yes, there have been moments where I felt at home. And I am thankful. Thank you for those moments. Thank you for that knowledge. And thank yourself for the effort you make to direct your attention back in that direction, back towards your deepest, truest self. Mm. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can let go of the practice if you wish and move about as feels authentic and pleasurable.